Good evening, you handsome lot. And on the ramp today we've got a 2011 Honda CR-V, and it is a 2.2 diesel, and it has covered 128,000 miles. Right, now I get asked all the time about why don't I get many Hondas in. They don't very rarely go wrong, and when they do, it's only like big jobs like clutch or servicing and stuff. But this is the first time that I've ever done a clutch on one of these, so we're going to be doing it together. And the first thing we need to do is just disconnect that battery over there, negative first. Now with that battery disconnected, I've had a little look on my technical data, have a look at the repair times and what we need to do. But there's nothing in there to say that we've got to remove the subframe, but I've got a sneaky feeling that we do need to remove it. So what we're going to do is jump inside the vehicle, seatbelt through the steering wheel, just so we can remove that pinch bolt, which goes on the bottom of the steering column. We can get that removed. Now we can get the ramp, get the ramp lowered, get the vehicle in the air. Now with that vehicle just raised off the floor a little bit, what we're going to be doing is jumping around and making a little bit of room underneath the bonnet, just so we can get down to the gearbox mounts and stuff. It's not going to take me too long. Remove the battery tray and the airbox and a few other little bits and bobs. Right, well, we've now made a little bit of room for ourselves. Got a nice little pile going on there with all my bits and bobs. Now there's a few little things that we need to remove by the looks of it. There's a couple of brackets for wiring looms, and also we need to just disconnect the gear cables off the gearbox, and we're going to do as much as we can up above. We're going to take it up to working height and get the wheels off. Right, well, as you can see, I've got this vehicle up in the air now. We've got the wheels off. I've removed the center nuts out of the dry shaft. I need to remove, rather than remove the nut off the ball joints, I'm going to do the 3 nuts underneath, which will come out the arm. And I do have to take the subframe off, because it is 4-wheel drive. Let me show you. It's a 4-wheel drive, and as you can see, everything, the transfer box or transfer, whatever you want to call it, is up there, tucked up behind the subframe. Now there is lots and lots and lots of plastic trims that we need to remove, so I'm going to be plodding on. I think we are making a little bit of progress. I've got all the plastic under trays off, which are over there. Along the top of the subframe, I don't know whether it's a power steering pipe, which is just by there. Just unclip it off the subframe. The subframe's not far off. Taking it off now, removing it. Just be careful, because there is a headlamp level sensor, and that one, unfortunately, is broke. Now there's not much more I can do. I've got the arms of the ball joints. I can go ahead now. I think I'll remove the 2 front bolts out of the subframe, the 2 at the back here. Oh, now the steering rack as well. That can actually stay on the car. There's 3 bolts either side here on the subframe off some little brackets, which I'll show you when I've got the subframe down. I'm going to get some supports now, and we're going to get the subframe off. Well, we have now got that subframe off, which is down the back there. Now, I have had to remove the anti-roll bar off the subframe because it was bolted and it wouldn't come past the exhaust. And I'm not getting involved in removing this exhaust, because look at the state of it. It's all corroded. I don't want to be doing snap bolts and faffing about today. We're going to go ahead now and make a start on removing the lower bell housing bolts, I think. I am doing it slightly different to what I normally do, because I like to start at the top and work my way down. But I'm going to do it this way today on this vehicle. Going to remove the prop shaft with some multi-spline sockets. That shouldn't be a too problem, because once we've disconnected it, the engine will just pull forward so we can drop it down. Right, well, I am now in a position where I need to get my apprentice to support the engine and my transmission jack to remove the gearbox. Now I have dropped it down. We can get straight through the top there with, let me flip the camera around. A long extension of swivel head, we can get to that 17mm, which is right up the back there somewhere. You probably won't be able to see it, but it is there. You're going to have to trust me on this one. Right, I'm going to chuck it into a bit of a time lapse of me getting the gearbox out. And there we have it with a little bit of magic. Now that gearbox is off. And to be honest with you, it was a little bit fiddly because it was seized. Well, not seized, it was just slightly stuck on that dowel there. Now, I'm going to pop up for me dinner because we are on 5 to 1. Once I've had my dinner, we're going to come back, get this clutch plate and pressure plate off, and it is also having a dual mass flywheel as well, which we have already got the exceeded clutch kit there. Right, I'm going to go for my dinner.
A few moments later.
Right, well, we've put a little bit of fuel now in the tank so we can carry on this afternoon and get things sorted. Right, and now I have gone ahead and removed the clutch and flywheel. Let me spin this camera around. The flywheel is a little bit blue, so it has been getting hot, hence it's slipping. There's a clutch plate. I've seen worse. It's not as bad as what I thought it would be, but it is almost down to the rivets. And there's a pressure plate. The pressure plate has got quite a little few grooves in it. But I've gone ahead and fitted the brand new flywheel. Now, normally, when I'm torquing these up, I use a little bit of an Allen key through the bell housing bolts here. But what I've had to do, put the bolt back in and drop another bolt through, and that'll lock into the ring gear. And everything is torqued up. We can remove the clutch alignment tool now. Now them are probably the best clutch alignment tools on the planet. There we have it. Now I've only got to move around now and fit. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's in one of these boxes somewhere. Is it in there? No, it's there. Put that new thrust bearing in the gearbox. Well, I've gone ahead and I've also put the new thrust bearing on now. Now I've made sure that I've put a tiny little bit of grease on the input shaft and also where the thrust bearing pivots on the clutch fork. I've just put a little bit of red rubber grease and everything now is running nice and smoothly. So what I'm going to do, chuck it into a bit of a time lapse and hopefully this gearbox goes back in quicker than it came out. Right, well that gearbox now is all bolted back up. I've supported it back into the chassis, removed my apprentice and my transmission jack. Now I do need to go ahead and we do need to get this subframe back on. But what we're going to be doing, all the bolts that secure the subframe to the vehicle, we're going to be using a little bit of copper grease. So if it ever has to come back off again, these bolts will come out nice and easy. It shouldn't be, I need to plod on, I can't really do much more filming because 3:30 and ideally, I need to get this vehicle off the ramp tonight. Right, well as you can see that car now is all back together and everything is as it should be. I'm going to jump in it now and see if we've got a tiny little bit of drive. Well, not a tiny little bit of drive. Everything's working as it should. Shut up, bloody bing bong. Give it a big start. Well, at least it's running. That's the main thing. Make sure that we've got no restrictions on the clutch pedal. Absolutely perfect. Let's plonk it into first. And there we have it. That vehicle, we're going to R for race mode. And it also goes backwards as well. Well, considering this was my first clutch-a-rooney on one of these, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. But yeah, that car now is ready to go for a little bit of a test drive. I've torqued the wheels up. No doubt the test drive is going to be perfect. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, click that like and subscribe. Now I am trying a little bit different. Obviously I've got my new camera and my new mic, so I am trying different ways of doing a little bit of content for you. If you like how I've done this one, please let us know in the comments. But anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to click that like and subscribe. On to the next, and let's get it sent.